Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, May 23rd. It is 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So hopefully everyone had a great weekend. I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick. Then we'll get started with our session for today. Set up right there. One more thing right here. A couple other things to update right here. And we should be good to go. Good. All right, solid. I think everything's pretty much good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And then we get started with our session for today. All right, cool. Give a few minutes for people to make their way in. All right, guys, morning, everybody. I'll get a few more minutes. People are still making their way in. As people join, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the liquidity here on the 10-minute. You guys can see how I mark it up. It's not really all that difficult. Since this is a 10-minute, I'm going to go on the higher time frame to mark up the liquidity. And you guys can see I just mark up the high lows basically. So I'll start on the daily. I'll go down to the 8-hour. So a little bit. And I'll pretty much just go halfway down, like half time frames from where I currently am. So daily 8-hour, 4-hour. There's none there. 2-hour. So one right there. 1 hour. One right there. One right there. 30-minute. From there. 15-minute. Right there. And back to the 10-minute. And that's pretty much it. So there goes my liquidity market up there on the 10-minute chart. Pretty solid. Not really much to look at the moment, but that's that. People are still making their way. I'm going to go ahead and mark up the 1 minute as well while people continue to join in. So I'm going to go here, and for the 1 minute, I'm just going to go from the 1 hour because we don't need to go that far out. It's just kind of pointless since the charts only go so far, and we don't expect it to move like thousands of pips. Within a short period. So I got that marked up there. We got one right here. There. And right there. All right, let's go down to the 30-minute. It's remarked up. 15. Right there. One right there. I think that's about it. One right there. I'll go over to the 10-minute. There. 5-minute. There. And let's see if there's anything else here. But you guys can see, if you guys have the high-low indicator, you don't really have to do much work. It pretty much does everything for you. And down to the 1 minute, and that's pretty much it. There goes one right there, right there. I gotta adjust that first one, but make sure everything's marked up. Looks good for the most part. Let's delete this one right here. And yeah, other than that, everything looks good. All right, guys. So good morning, everybody. Looks like majority of you guys are here. Today is Monday, May 23rd. It's 6:24 right now, or 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. So looks like we're pretty much all set and ready to go. I'm going to mark up the clean chart over here as well. Guys, if you guys are going to join the Zoom session, you guys got to use real names, okay? Because I see like multiple names here with like the same username. So, and I know there's not two people with the same name. So if you guys are joining the Zoom, if I see a suspicious name, I'm gonna boot you from the room. So if you guys are joining the room, try to use your real name or use something where I can identify that it's you, because you guys remember what happened last week with that person trying to pretending to be Maddie. So if you guys have a weird name, or if you guys come in like with if there's a suspicious name here, I'm gonna boot you straight from the Zoom, and you're gonna get banned. So just make sure you don't come in with a weird name, or if you guys are trying to pretend to be somebody else, because I'm not gonna play those games today. We're gonna make some money in the on the charts, and I'm not trying to get anybody to like mess with the annotations. So just FYI, guys, if you guys get booted, I mean, you guys are getting booted because your name was suspicious. Okay, so I just want to give you guys a heads up, because I know sometimes you guys want to play around in the group, but last week was just annoying when people are trying to pretend to be other people in the group. So Jennifer said Rick Reed is a weird name. Yeah, you're fine, Rick. I know it's you. Yeah, admin said I'm on a new computer. That's why my name's admin. Apologize. But how do I change it? You probably change it under the settings, admin. Okay, thanks for letting me know, because you're probably one of the people that I was kind of curious who you were. But now that you put it on there, I do. So I want to make sure, because if you guys were in the Zoom last week, you guys remember that weird stuff happened where they were like basically spamming the screen, pretending to be someone else. So all right, good morning, everybody. Morning, Vince. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Marlon. Morning, Marco. Morning, Peter. Morning, Patrick. Morning, Steven. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Craig. Morning, Saren. Morning, Jez. Morning, Matt. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Sam. Morning, Lisa. Morning, David. Morning, Miles. Morning, Matsy. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. Sorry if I didn't get to you guys. Market's going to open in about a minute, so I don't want to cut into that. Currently, right now, we have a sell bias. I only know that because looking at retail sentiment, it's currently 68% long. So right here, this is indicating that there's 68% of retail traders on the long side. So we want to do the opposite and sell. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 348 points. So this right here is indicating there's an inconsistency with regard to the overall bias. Fundamentals are indicating a buy. Retail sentiment is indicating a sell. So we're not going to have a strong overall bias today. It's going to be a bit indecisive. However, I typically go with the retail sentiment over the fundamentals. So we'll see what happens when the market does open. We currently have a sell signal right here. So if we do get an entry for a breakout, it's probably going to be for a sell. I'll put the requirements here for the breakout, and then we'll get started with our session in a few seconds. Market is now open. So with the market open, we're looking for a strong red candle in order to identify the breakout. However, it's not going to be a strong confirmation because we don't have a strong bias with regard to the fundamentals and retail sentiment aligning. However, the retail sentiment is bearish, so I'm probably going to be looking for sells today. Hey, Seth, morning. Glad to have you here. I know it's your first day, so good luck. Hopefully we get you some good trades today along with everyone else. I'll try to kick off this week right. So we're basically looking for a strong red candle here with regard to the breakout. This right here, I would not consider this a strong red candle because actually this isn't even an opening candle. This is the opening candle right here. This might be the breakout. If it closes with little to no wick on the bottom end, we'll see how it closes here. It does not close with a strong red candle. So this is not going to be the breakout entry over here. So basically, if you guys are looking at the requirements here for the breakout, we're looking for an entry after 6:30 a.m., which the market is now open at 6:31. We want to confirm the bias. It's optional, but highly recommended. The bias right now for retail sentiment is bearish. Fundamental bias is bullish. And the technical bias right here is also bearish. So majority is weighing for a bearish bias. However, it's not a very strong one because we want all of them to line up in order to be a very strong bias. For the third requirement here, we confirm the direction of momentum. We have a sell signal right here. So momentum is bearish. Lastly, you just want to confirm a strong candle in that direction. So like, for example, right here, I basically want this to close as a strong, red candle. I do find this to be a bit risky because the bias isn't very strong. So if I do decide to take a trade here, it's probably going to be for a partial entry, not necessarily a full push. So this is a breakout right here, guys. However, you can see that this candle here is very big. If you guys remember the red flags, I'm not going to enter the trade just yet. I'll probably wait for it to come back down. It's a bit kind of dicey because right here, you can see that there's a wick that came up like at the very end. So I don't know if this right here would be considered the breakout. This candle right here is just not very strong. The fourth requirement right here, basically you want to confirm a strong candle in the direction of momentum. So we're looking for a red candle with minimal wick on the bottom. There's actually a pretty big wick right here. So I wouldn't consider that the breakout just yet. Yeah, the wick is just way too big. So I'd probably hold off on it. Or if you guys want to consider this a breakout, it's very subjective. That requirement's subjective. You might want to wait for it to come back down. So maybe you can just wait for it. And then if it comes back down, maybe you could hop in. But I think this is not a very strong candle. I'd probably wait for the next one. Because this wick right here is just a little too big. Yeah, Professor said big wick on MT4. Thanks, Professor. Yeah, I figured it'd be a big wick because it spiked up like at the very last second. So I would just wait. Not in the position yet at all. Obviously, I'm just waiting for, perfect entry here. If we don't get a breakout, it's completely fine, guys. You guys can wait for the next entry. It's just going to be a matter of being patient. You got to keep in mind that today is Monday, so we're going to see a lot of market manipulation, a lot of people re-entering the market from the weekend. So even if you don't take any trades today, having no losses is considered a win in my book. So if you can just be patient and wait for, these good entries to come in. Another thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that price is right next to the sessions right here, right? So if you look over to the red flags, there's actually two that are being met right now. Prices near sessions and also candle to prior entry is too large. So you got to make sure that the candle here is not too big. This candle here that we kind of identified earlier was for first red flag here. It was right at the sessions. It bounced directly off it. And then second, it was just way too big if you consider that the entry. So this right here might be the breakout. If it closes properly, doesn't look like it, but we have about 30 seconds left on the candle. I'll just keep this marked up here in case we do have, the entries come in pretty quickly. So I'll leave this up here. We have no entry right now, but if we do have it, I'll just drag it over real quick. Doesn't look like we're going to get it though, because it's right at the sessions. So should be good. All right, so as you guys can see, price is pretty much, it's just bouncing back and forth at the moment. It's a big gap between this candle right here, these two. Trying to see if it's moving the same as MT4 or FTMO at least. And it is. The data is fine here today, guys, for right now, hopefully. If it starts to move off again, I'll let you guys know. But you guys can see the huge spike of volatility right here, right? There's a lot of manipulation. Price spikes to the bottom. It fakes people out, spikes to the top, fakes people out, and then comes right back down. You don't want to be trading when the market's moving like this. You want to wait for it to kind of smoothen out and move in one direction. Currently, right now, it's going back and forth. Let me take a look at the fundamentals real quick. All right, refresh here. Fundamentals are currently up 311 points. Retail sentiment is still bearish because there is 67% of retail traders on the long side. So overall right now, it's still indecisive. Looking over here at the heat map, I'll refresh this real quick. Heat map is currently, let's see, refresh this one more time. heat map is currently very green. So as you guys can see right here, there's a huge conflict with regards to the overall bias. Fundamentals are super bearish or super bullish, plus while the retail sentiment is bearish. So as you guys can see over here, that's why price keeps bouncing back and forth, because there's no clear direction. The retail sentiment pushed price down, and then fundamentals pushed it back up, and then now it's coming right back down. Overall, I think price is going to come down. So that's why I'm looking for a sell here. I'm just waiting for it to do whatever it needs to do at the moment. There's no breakout, unfortunately, today, guys. If it doesn't happen within the first 5 minutes, there's no breakout. So no breakout for today. I'm going to take this all off real quick. Clean the charts a bit. See if I could identify any more areas of liquidity here. That looks good. But you can see right here that price is now just ranging, right? Obviously, price is just going sideways back and forth between this point and this point right here. It's consolidating into this range. This right here might be a pivot scalp entry. Again, it's too big of a candle. Let me measure it real quick. It's like a 360 pip candle. So this could technically be considered a pivot scalp entry. However, I'm probably not going to take it because, for one, it's bouncing right off the session. So that's a risky point. Also, this candle is just too big. So going back to the red flags over here, same situation. Price is near sessions, candle prior to, or it's not even going to close. It's swinging right back up. All right, so no entry off that. I think we kind of just got to wait, guys. We were probably just going to have to wait for the market to smoothen out, because it looked like that was going to be a pivot scalp entry. However, it just swung right back up the last like 5 seconds or so. And here it goes, comes right back down. Yeah, I'd probably just wait a little bit, guys, for the market to settle down a bit. I'll go over here on the clean chart and I'll mark up a couple of things here so that you guys can identify the direction of price. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark up the areas of liquidity. And this is on the 1 minute chart. I'm not going to go on the higher time frames because this is just our clean markup for today to identify, where price is likely to go, where it's been, and where liquidity is currently sitting. As you guys can see here on the 1 minute, there's a lot of liquidity on the bottom. So this is why I expect it to come down later, because I feel like it's going to come down and knock out pretty much all the liquidity that's just been sitting there. So there we go with that right there. Price is dropping back down here. The next thing I'm going to mark up is going to be time. So 6:30, 7, and 8. And it's fine that price breaks liquidity below here. It's just going to create new areas of liquidity. This is kind of what I'm looking for here. I kind of want price to swing back up from where it currently is, because if that happens, then we're going to have an area of liquidity right here. So if price does come back down, I'll be able to just slip into there and pretty much grab like 100 pips or so for this little liquidity push back below. So that's basically what I'm looking for right here. My bias is a sell overall, so I'm looking for that to happen. But we'll see. I've marked that up right there. As you guys can see, market opened right here at 6:30. The markup opening price. So the liquidity just got pushed down lower. This wouldn't be considered like one of those liquidity pushes because it hasn't even established this as the low yet. Here's opening price right there. I'm going to mark that up over here as well. 6:30, which is right here. Okay. I got to check the news as well. I haven't checked the news today. The area of liquidity just got pushed down lower. So same setup right here. We're just waiting for it to push up a little bit and then come back down. Typically, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. If it's going to drop lower from this point, maybe take some sort of, I'm not going to mess around with it. It's too risky, guys. It's too play around in this market right now. You have to wait for this to establish, right? So this area of liquidity right here, it needs to be established before you can take anything here. So like right here, now that price is pushing up, as it comes back down, now I'm going to be looking for some sort of push at this point. If price gets down to this point right here, then I could probably expect it to push down, quite a bit. Let me see. Yeah, see it push down to the next level possibly. You can see right here, it came back up, retested the opening price, and then we'll see if it comes back down from here. So it's basically retesting the opening price right here. We'll see where it goes. Other than that, let me see. So this stuff right here got knocked out. You kind of see right here where it kind of pushed through the liquidity. It didn't get down to the very low end, but it did like kind of push through it and then came right back up. I'm just going to keep updating this as we go along. Just a reminder, guys, today is Monday. So today's not the day to really be forcing anything. It's kind of just the day to be patient and wait for these entries to actually come to you. So again, right here, it's just creating a bigger range. So you can see it clear on this side because this is the markup with or the chart without a markup. I'm basically just updating these high lows, and you can see where price is kind of just going back and forth, right? Market opened right here, this blue line. So you can see that initially it dropped, came back up, dropped, came back up, and then now it's dropping again. It's the same pattern back and forth. There's no direction. Price just keeps going back and forth. It's just going in between opening price right here. That's literally all it's doing. So just something to, obviously keep in mind as you continue to look for entries here. Basically what we're looking for at this point is I'm looking for price to be below here, maybe possibly retest and continue dropping. If we get this setup right here and price drops below this point, then I can expect it to continue dropping. The problem with this right here is that price hasn't chosen a direction, right? It can either drop below here or it can even push above here. If it pushes above here, retest and continues pushing, then obviously we'll be looking for some possible buys here. But right now there's just no direction set. Price is pretty much just going back and forth. So with that said, we're just going to wait. There's nothing for us to take at the moment. So nothing here off the one. Keep updating this because price keeps pushing back and forth. Nothing here off the one. Go over here on the 10. There's nothing here off the 10 either. Don't update this stuff. But you guys can kind of see this area of liquidity that we marked up earlier. So same situation. If you guys sat in on the mentoring session last week, you can see price went in between the middle of this area. It spiked below and then it came right back up. But that area of liquidity is now irrelevant because it's already been broken. There's no V3 here, if you guys are wondering, because the entry candle here had a signal on it. So no V3 there, if you guys are wondering if that was a V3. I did see some people mention some snipes. Let me see if there's any snipes around here. Man, what a messy chart. There's so much stuff going on the 10-minute right now. Let me see if I can clean this up a little bit. Yeah, I don't see any snipes right here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I probably missed something here. You guys might be referring to this area right here. Super messy chart. Let me just turn off the sessions. Okay, this cleans it up a whole lot more. So yeah, it looks like there was possibly a snipe right here that could have been taken. However, it was an open candle, so I wouldn't have taken it. It's at 6:30. So even though this would technically be, I mean, you can call it a snipe, I wouldn't have taken it because it's right at market open. You don't want to take any trades like right at open unless it's the breakout. You can see right here, it probably would have hit stop loss if that was the case. Looks like it got close to TP and then it swung back up. You don't want to take any trades that are like right on open because obviously that's where all the manipulation happens. So nothing here off the 10. Anything else? Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. No, I don't see anything here on the 10. So nothing off the 10. Going back to the 5. I guess we can mark up or I'll just leave this alone. I don't really mess with the 5 too much. Or I mean, we can mark up the liquidity here, but I'm not going to mark up the liquidity on the on the, and I'm not going to go that high. I'll go to like the 4-hour. There's no point in going to the daily because we don't expect price to get that high or that low. So here is liquidity on the 5. I'll just do it because it doesn't take that long. Like you can literally just go from chart to chart and then you pretty much have everything lined up. You're just basically drawing lines over these high lows. So 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour. Uh, 30-minute. $15-minute. $10-minute and 5-minute. Yeah, so there really isn't much here. And then 5-minute. Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much the liquidity here on the 5. There's nothing here either. Price is just bouncing back and forth at the moment. There's nothing here off the 5. I'm not going to bother with 3. I don't really trade on the 3. Here's the 1. You guys can see the liquidity here getting hit. Price hit liquidity right here, pushed up, hit this area of liquidity. And you can see as it spikes back up. I mean, it spikes up even further. One of two things will happen at this point. Price will either come back down and retest, or it'll just keep pushing. One of the two. So this is basically what I marked up earlier. If you guys remember my markup, I mentioned price will do one of two things. It'll either come above here, retest and keep pushing, or fake out and come back down into the range. And then vice versa, price could have came down and done the same thing the opposite direction. So basically what you're looking for here now is you're looking for the confirmation. You want to see whether price comes back for the retest and continues pushing up higher, or if it's going to fake out and just come right back down. So price is pushing up super heavy right now. There's no surprise of it pushing up because we did see the fundamentals here. They're very bullish. So overall, very bullish here. I do think price will come back down eventually because the sentiment here is so high. You guys can see right here that the sentiment is currently 69% long. So I see a lot of people here kind of getting faked out. I can see a lot of people kind of just bandwagoning, getting excited and jumping into this buy here. And look at this huge wave. So whoever kind of like jumped into it and is like, you'll see right now, because you're just waiting for this confirmation, right? I have these markups right here. There's one of two things that are going to happen. Prices either come back and retest this area and shoot up higher, or it's just going to fake out and come right back down to this area right here, which is the range. So it's just going to be a matter of waiting for that confirmation there. So we'll see what happens here, but there's still nothing for us to take at the moment. The thing is, this liquidity has been hit already, so I'm going to take this off. It's no longer useful. Let's see, question from Brian. Brian said my trending meter is currently neutral at the 30-minute chart. Are my settings off? Yes, they're off, Brian. You set them all to chart. So if you go over here to if you're scalping, I mean, if they're set to 30, it's because you probably set it to it. The default settings are set at intraday. So these are intraday settings right here. This is probably what you have set at intraday. If you want to have it set to like if you're scalping for the specific chart, you go over here and changes the chart. So this is how you would have it set up right there. If you want it to be, compared to pretty much all the other charts, it's not going to be the same on every chart. It's just going to be depending on your time frame. So like, for example, here, 10 minutes can be different from the 1 minute, but you're going to know what the overall trend is on that specific time frame. Yeah, no problem, Brian. Other than that, there's not really much for us to take right now. We'll see what happens when price continues to bounce around this area. There's just two different scenarios that can play out. Price will either keep pushing up or it'll come back down and just retrace back into the range over here. So one of the other. If price pushes up higher, we'll continue to follow the overall bias, and we'll see if price does start to shift. If this number here continues to increase, then I would expect a drop to happen at some point. So I'm basically going to be waiting for that drop to come right back down. That's typically what I'm looking for here. I'm gonna keep refreshing this to identify if this number here is increasing, which it hasn't yet. It's still at 69%. Basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for them to stack up more buyers. Once they stack up more buyers, they'll just dump price, stop everybody out, and it'll go back to where it was supposed to go. So other than that, I think that's it for now. But yeah, you can see price, and you can see price is now coming right back down. It's just going to be a matter of just waiting, guys. It's a lot of patience that's going to have to be dealt with right now. Because I know a lot of you guys are probably tempted to hop into this buy and continue chasing it up. And that's basically what everybody else is doing, right? Everyone saw price break structure right here. And then what happens in price break structure? Everyone tries to, bandwagon onto these buys. As soon as you enter a buy, price just comes right back down. You get stopped out really quickly. So I don't recommend chasing this here. I would recommend to wait for it to establish. Once it's established that, okay, price is pushing up, then look for buys. But right now, it hasn't really established yet. Price is kind of just, I wouldn't be surprised if this happens. Price just starts to range around this area, right? Because what could happen is price can push around here, and then price just starts to bounce around this area right here, right? And then from there, price will make its decision whether it's going to come back down or whether it's going to shoot up and continue pushing up higher. So I don't recommend chasing this right here. I would wait for it to confirm that it's, the bias is shifting bullish. Currently right now, I don't think it's going to shift just yet. It hasn't pushed up far enough. So opening price is right here. And if you measure price from opening price, it's really only pushed up like 500 pips at max, which is not really that much. Because you can just come right back down. I'll keep updating this as price continues to, to move along. Yeah, Maddie said, think it's going to push up a bit more, then drop, which that's kind of what I see happening too. So I'm not really chasing these buys. And you can see right there, that big red candle. I wouldn't be surprised. There he goes, comes down further. So this is exactly why I told you guys not to take any buys. Because look, if you took buys right here, your accounts are probably not looking so good because it just came right back down. You probably would have gone stopped out if you were chasing a buy here, unless you have a really wide stop loss, because it dropped at least like 600 pips right there, so, including the spread. So don't get caught up in these traps, guys. You gotta wait for, it's okay to take buys, but I would wait for it to actually confirm before you hop into it, because now price is coming right back down. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. I don't want to have this messy chart up right now. I gotta check news price too. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Or actually, no, I'm gonna leave this up for a little bit so that you guys can see the markup. There goes, price comes back down. Let's see if it retests. I'm gonna check if there was news today. So on the calendar, it's a Canada bank holiday. Some Euro news. No news for the US, it's just other countries. And there we go, price comes back down. Look where price is rejecting from. Sessions. Broke right through it, and there we go. Price is right back to exactly where I anticipated, right? So I marked it up right here, and we'll see if it comes down lower. So again, right here, price is at the same area. So it's going for the retest. Now you'll wait to see if price bounces back up or if it comes back below to this area of range. It's basically just coming back down. I already marked it up for you guys. So like everything I marked up right here played out exactly, right? Price pushed up. I said price didn't come back and retest. Once it retests, it'll choose a direction. It'll either drop below here, back into the range, or it's going to bounce off and push up higher. It's the same pattern. This pattern comes up all the time. I don't chase these moves here because I know this is going to happen. That's why you should never chase a big push. If you ever see a big push like this, you guys should just wait, because this is typically what happens after the retracement. And there we go. Price is right here, and this will be the confirmation that you're looking for. At this point, if it confirms that it's going to keep pushing up, then okay, you can start looking for buys. If it doesn't, it's going to pull back into this area, and then it's just going to go back and forth until it chooses an actual direction. So the area that I'm looking for it to confirm is it needs to break above the high over here. So what you're looking for if you're looking for buys, you need to wait for it to actually come back up above here and close. Don't mess with it around here, because if you mess it around here, price can keep going back and forth and you're going to get screwed again. So hopefully you guys are listening to the analysis here and you guys are paying attention to like, you know, the hints that the market's giving you, because it's just a risky area to trade. Let me pull up these sessions. It's like literally right at the sessions. So red flag, but I'll leave this up here so that you guys can follow it. And I'll keep cleaning up the chart over here with the markups. So right there. Let's see what you guys sent me over here. So it looks like some of you guys are taking trades like directly off my analysis. Looking over here at Narith, and Narith is currently up 19,000. Look at these. Look at all of his trades here, guys. All of his trades here are for sells because he's trading in the direction of bias. So nice work right there, Narith. With huge profit for today, 19,000. That's crazy. Other than that, Kenny over here, he took some sells here as well in the direction of bias. You know, as I told you guys, I'm only looking for sells. Kenny over here locked in a total of 2,594. Nice work, Kenny. Kenny again right here, he took a couple more sells, locked in a profit of 4,051. Nice work, Kenny. Over here, Lisa as well. Lisa locked in a total of 8,229. So a lot of you guys here, I know there's no official trades that we've been, you know, called because the market is just it's too messy right now. A lot of you guys are still taking trades off the analysis because, you know, my bias here is going to be a sell. It still is a sell. We just don't have a confirmation for any like really good trades yet. I know some of you guys are taking risky trades, which is completely fine if you know what you're doing. But you can see people here are still profiting off the analysis on the live. Let's see what else is going on over here. Kenny with his 4,000, where he looked at that. Kevin over here. Kevin's going back and forth because he's scalping in both directions. But you can see his big profits right here as well are on the sell side for this morning, or I think this is last night actually. Total profit of 14,222. So nice work right there, Kevin. Any other profits here? Let's see. Kenny sent in his profits there as well. Melzon, he took a couple trades here. He took a sell right there, locked in total 144. Nice work off that, Melzon. His second account right here, locked in 180. And his third account over here, locked in 460. So nice work, Melzon. Melzon said, too messy, see tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, Melzon. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. Steven, what trade did you take? Steven said it was a wick on top too large. Is that why we didn't take it? It was a wick on the bottom, Steven, because it was a sell. So, and I told you not to take it. All right, so we'll have to talk to you later about that. But I think you're kind of mixing up because you said was a wick on top too large. If you're looking for a sell, you're looking for the wick on the bottom, not the top. So let me kind of pull up the requirements here. See, I think we gotta have a talk, bro, because like everything that you kind of learned over the past couple of months kind of went out the window. It looks like you're kind of doing your own thing. So right here, you're looking for red candles, minimal wick on the bottom, not the top. So I'll talk to you later, Steven. I don't know if you're still in the room, but I'll have to talk to you later because it looks like you're not really following, you know, the same way that you were training before. And it's crazy. So guys, that's like how easy things can change, right? Steven he had like 3 months of like no losses. He literally had wins every single day for 3 months straight. And then he started trading his own way. And then he started like losing every trade. So you guys got to stay consistent. If you guys start to win a lot, and you guys just got to keep trading that way. You know, there's a reason why you kept winning because you were trading a certain way. You can't change up your trading plan or your game plan. Like just because you got, you know, you passed a challenge or anything like that. You got to keep trading the way that you did, that you got to that point, or else you're just going to have it's a downward spiral. So I'll talk to you later. See, I don't know if you're still in here. You're probably not. Yeah, I hate to see that, guys. I hate to see like a lot of people like do really well, and then all of a sudden they start going to like a huge downward spiral into like a bunch of losses that are back to back. Anyways, price is right back to where we were expecting. Here's my markup right here, guys. It played out exactly how we anticipated, right? Price came up, came to this area. I marked this up. It was either going to come down back to this area of the range, or it was going to push up. So push down right here. And now it's back to opening price. So it's like this noise over here never happened, right? Like this is kind of irrelevant. Like if you just like ignore this area here, I'll just mark up. This is basically manipulation. This whole area here, like it probably didn't even, it's like it didn't even happen because market opened right here, it was ranging, manipulated to the upside, then it came right back down. And then at this point, now it's kind of just, it's kind of pushing to this next area of liquidity below there. So we'll see where it goes from this point here. Let's do this. Yeah, exactly. Craig said this is exactly where patience pays off. It's no wonder why retail would chase buys with how aggressive those buys were. Yeah, exactly, Craig. That's exactly what I was trying to warn you guys for. Remember earlier I was telling you guys don't chase the buys here because price was going to come right back down to where it was originally. And it did exactly that. It's now below here. And whoever took buys here is getting, obviously they got stopped out. So, I mean, if you guys trade US30 as much as I do every single day, because I don't take any days off, I trade even on vacation. You'll start to see these patterns, guys. These patterns come up every single time. And I always look at retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is always going to be, number one for me. Fundamentals here, you can see the fundamentals are up like 300 points, but price still dropped. Let's see from this high point here, price still dropped like 2,000 pips. So this is why fundamentals don't really matter sometimes. I always follow retail sentiment. Like, this is like the way I trade every single day. I don't change anything differently. My main catalyst is always going to be retail sentiment. I don't want to trade where everyone's trading. Everyone here is buying, so I'm going to do the opposite and sell. And then it does that exactly. So hopefully you guys were listening to my analysis and you guys didn't take any buys here, because if you did, account's probably blown at this point. So yeah, anyways, there we go. It's back to where it was earlier. I'm gonna go and mark up the other areas. Well, I mean, this area of liquidity is already marked, it's already knocked out. So I have to draw another one right over here. And I haven't taken anything today, guys. So, just FYI, I'm just kind of chilling right now. Market's just moving too crazy. So I'm not really looking to take anything too risky. So this is what I was just referring to earlier, guys. If you guys don't have any losses, that's considered a win in my book, honestly. Like I haven't had any wins, I haven't had any losses. I did see a lot of you guys here post some profits. And I'm not really getting any FOMO, even though Kenny here is killing it. Look at Kenny, he took all the sells here, locked in the total profit of 4,289. And you guys can see the timestamp for Kenny's trades here. He only took these trades during the live. So you can see he took his first trade here at 6:30. That's when he went live initially. And then right now it is 7:04. His last trade was at 7:03 about a minute ago. All these trades were taking during the live session within the last 30 minutes. So in 30 minutes, Kenny locked in a total of 4,289. So amazing work right there, Kenny. You stuck to the game plan. You knew that we were looking for sells and you looked for those possible entries as price continued to drop lower. I know we didn't have any official entries, but you played it well, and profits should look nice from there. So great work, Kenny. Other than that, let's see, Kevin over here posted more profits. Locked in a total of 5,562. My account's looking like zero right now, but it's all good. No losses, so I'm fine with that. Peter over here, nice work, Peter. Peter sent in his profits. He here as well had a sell bias, so nice work here. It looks like you had a little loss there. Might have been an accident. Maybe moved your stop loss too close, but it's all good. Overall, your profits here, you're currently up like well over 100, maybe 200 bucks now. So nice work, Peter. Kenny over here again, 4,000. Eunice over here, he said, didn't trade for a few days due to wedding of my sister, but he's back. So nice work, Eunice. Congrats to your sister on her wedding. Over here as well, you can see Eunice, he has all sells here. You can see the timestamp for his trades. He's basically trading in the direction of bias, locked in a total of 140. So nice work right there, Eunice. Jay over here as well. Jay took some trades in both directions. You can see his bigger win right here, where he took the sell. Looks like he caught the bounce back and forth, locked in a total of 862. Nice work, Jay. Rookie over here, she's trading the direction of bias, both sells right here, locking total profit of 451. Nice work, Rookie. Other than that, that's it for right now. If you guys have more profits, feel free to send them in. I'll add them to the list. But currently right now, I'm still looking for an entry myself. So if I find something, which I hopefully do, maybe I'll have some profit to share with you guys as well. Let's see. Sorry, Remy. I totally missed your whole messages up there. So it looks like you were looking for something on the 10-minute. Let me go there real quick. So looking at the 10-minute right here, yeah, you mentioned there was a double body, which there was actually. So there was a double body, and you did mention that it was risky, but yes, you were correct. There was a double body that was right there, which, I mean, you could have taken. I don't take that trade on the 10-minute, but if you did take it, it looks like it would have hit TP. I don't know what the TP would have been because I never trade this on there, but it would probably be 500 pips. I think if you're trading on the 10-minute, typically your TP stop loss would be a fixed 500 pips, and it would have hit TP right there. Looking over here at the V1, that's basically the trade that Rami was referring to. You're looking for overall bias. The overall bias isn't necessarily for a sell. So I don't know if this would be considered an actual, like, you know, qualified entry, because the first requirement here wouldn't be necessarily met, because retail sentiment is a sell, fundamental bias was a buy, and technical bias was a buy as well, because it was above the pivots and the trend meter was green. So I don't know if I would have taken this trade. It would have been considered very risky, but everything else fit properly. We have the high here. You have a double body rejection right there, pending momentum in the direction for a sell, and you know, it'd be a possible entry. But like, as you mentioned, it would be risky because the bias wasn't confirmed. So yeah, I mean, overall, you know, it could have been considered if you wanted it to be, but again, if I was to identify myself, I wouldn't have taken it because it didn't fit all the requirements. And for me, I need everything to meet, because I don't like losing trades, and you guys know that. That's why I barely even take any trades. I take maybe 1 or 2 trades a day, and then I just wait for the next move. Like, you can see a lot of people here taking a lot more trades, but you know, for me personally, I don't like taking that risk. I don't like that feeling of uncertainty, right? And you guys know that feeling. It's that feeling where you take a trade and you know that you probably shouldn't have entered the trade, and you're pretty much nervous throughout the entire move. I don't like that feeling. I like taking a trade and then knowing for sure, like, I'm very confident that it's going to hit and I don't have to worry about anything. Those are the only trades I take. So those are the only trades that we, you know, consider like official trades here, and the trades that I actually take, and I tell you that I'm going to take, where we can, you know, write it to profit. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, Andreas over here, he said, always scary to trade on your phone. You should probably not trade on your phone, Andreas. He took a sell here as well, locked in a total of 95 euros. So nice work right there, Andreas. But yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend trading on your phone, especially during these, you know, conditions like this where the market's super choppy. So back to the 10, there's nothing there at the moment. Going back to the 1. Looks like price is going back into a range right here. It's basically ranging around opening price. So again, right here, you guys can see where opening price is. It's this blue line. It's just going back and forth between opening price. Overall, I think price is still going to drop further, but it's just going to be a matter of patience and discipline until we take this entry. Like this right here could possibly be setting up for a V3. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Looks like a possible V3. However, it's right at the session, so Either way, red flags here. Near sessions, near opening price. But it is setting up for a V3. If it closes as a red candle, just FYI. And that might be invalidated if this breaks above this line here. If price pushes above, then yeah, no longer a V3 pending. It's just pushing back up. Now, what a messy chart for a Monday. It's kind of hoping for a smoother move, but not exactly the market I was looking for today. All right, so other than that, there's not really much for us to take right now. Yeah, D said I want to get away from these dang sessions. Yeah, exactly. Like basically, I'm looking for the same thing D's looking for. I'm looking for price to get away from this area and this area right here, because it doesn't matter what kind of entry we get, it's still going to be a red flag because it's near the sessions. Or if it drops below here, it'll be near opening price. So I don't care if price goes up or goes down. I just want it to go away from these sessions right here. These sessions are basically areas that you should highly avoid if you want to, stick to quality entries. So other than that, not really much for us to take today. Andrea said I traded on my phone because my MT5 on Mac can't open. Hey, Andres, make sure that you're downloading the proper one, because I remember you were asking me yesterday how to download it, or I don't know if it was you asking me or somebody else, but let me go to the MetaTrader 4 website or MetaTrader 5. It doesn't matter what website you're on. This is an issue that I see a lot of people, and I can't even drag this over. Okay, so basically right here, I know you're on a Mac, Andreas. Make sure that you're clicking on this button right here, the X, which is Mac OS. You might be clicking on this Apple button, which is for the iPad and iPhone. So that's probably why it's not working. That's the issue that a lot of people have. This is for the actual Mac. You can, if you hover over it, it'll tell you it's for Mac OS. This is, if you hover over it, it says iPhone and iPad. So just FYI, I'm not sure if that's an issue that you ran into, but it might be, because that's something that a lot of people accidentally do. They download the wrong application, and that's why it's probably not opening on yours. Question from Craig. Craig's asking, is there a general consensus that we should be executing trades on laptop, etc., not from iPad or phone? I mean, it's really up to you, Craig, however you want to trade. I've seen people who trade on their phone or trade on their iPad and they do perfectly fine. But, it's kind of like you're going to have an upper hand if you're trading on a computer, obviously, because you have more windows open. You can have multiple things to look at the same time. And you can use the DOM. You can't use the DOM on your phone or iPad. So that's probably one of the main reasons why I wouldn't be using, an iPad or phone. I mean, unless you have really fast fingers and you can type in those TPs and stop loss really quickly, then, you're going to be at a disadvantage compared to everybody else. Anyways, there's a V3 here that came up, guys. However, it's not one that I would have taken because it's right at the sessions. Couple red flags here. It's right at the sessions and it didn't fit the stop loss requirement. So going over here, just want to make sure that you guys, if you guys are wondering, this right here, red flag, was right near the sessions. And then also the stop loss requirement, minimum of 300 pips stop loss on the 1 minute. So right here, stop loss is at 200 pips. It's not far enough. It needs to be at 300 pips, which would be right there. So if you guys are wondering if this is a V3, this technically would have been a V3 if the stop loss was wide enough, and also if it wasn't near the sessions. So before people ask, because I know people are going to ask if that was a V3, I just want to give you guys a heads up. Andreas said I had it all set up until today that I downloaded the new software. Oh, I got you, Andreas. Yeah, it might not be compatible with the new Mac software yet. I typically don't update my Mac. I only update it when they require it, but that might be the case, Andreas. You probably your new Mac OS software probably isn't compatible with MT5 yet. It'll probably be compatible later once they roll out the other updates. But that might be the case. All right, so still nothing here, man. Just really hoping to have some sort of entry available. But here's the clean markup. I'll just put the high lows here real quick and I'll clean it up again. So here's the clean markup with basically just the bare minimum, just the high lows, so you can identify structure and the time markup. So right here is where market opened. Market opened right here at 6:30. You can see that there's no clear direction, right? Price pushed up, pushed down, pushed up, pushed right back down, and then pushed right back up right here. Basically from 6:30 to 7, there's no clear direction. And then again, from right here, from 7 to 8, you know, the next hour in the market, there hasn't been a direction either. Price opened right here for this most recent hour, and it dropped and it pushed up and it dropped and it pushed up again. And now it's still bouncing around. In order for there to be direction, price needs to like really push up like really high, right? And like it needs to push like way past these levels, which it hasn't done yet. One thing that you guys want to look out for is if price pushes above this area here. If price pushes above this area, then it might continue pushing until like the rest of the hour here until 8 o'clock. So that's something to look out for. It's 7:17 right now, so we still have some time until 8. But this is basically what you want to look out for. If price gets above this area, look for a retest, because this is the price point that we were looking for earlier to confirm the bullish bias. So right here, price pushed above it. Now what you're looking for at this point is you want this to actually close. You can see this candle here did not close above it, right? It wicked to that level, but it didn't close above it. So what you're looking for is for price to actually close above here. Like this candle here has to close above this point. You want to look for the retest and continuation to the upside. That's what you're looking for if you're looking for buys. However, vice versa, if this doesn't happen, price will just come right back down to where it was earlier, right back to this area. So yeah, I mean, there's not really much for us to take, but you can see a lot of fake outs happening right here. Price pushed above, it didn't close above it. Now, one of two things will happen. Price will either break above it and continue pushing up, or it'll come right back down to this range right here. Let's see. Rick said he lost 4,500 today. Damn, you must have been gambling, Rick. Were you trading both ways? I'm assuming you were probably trading both ways. Or you probably tried to do your back to open thing. Oh, you took the breakout. I see. You probably did the same thing Steven did then. Earlier. So look at the chat here, see if there's anything else here. Kevin said, I use my computer because I have more screens and my internet connection is wired. I may monitor the trade on my phone, but I execute the trade on the computer. Manipulation, consolidation, fake out to the top, fake out to the bottom. Breakout, question mark, didn't see a confirmed breakout. Yeah, I didn't see a breakout either. So I'm not sure. You probably just hopped into that trade, Rick, that we were looking at. But yeah, I agree with Kevin. I didn't see a confirmed breakout. I mean, we didn't mark it up, and I did tell you guys that it didn't really look like a breakout because of the wick. But you probably just hopped into it because it was subjective. So it is what it is. You'll bounce back from it, Rick. But yeah, I didn't take a breakout today because I didn't see anything that really confirmed. I know we were looking at that one earlier, this candle right here, this red candle, but it was right at the session. So it hit my red flag, and obviously I don't take any trades when any of those are met. So always keep this in mind, guys, the red flags here. I mean, if you guys need to like write this down and put it on a Post-it and stick it to your computer, then, you know, this could be useful. Yeah, Rick said 631 strong red candle with momentum behind it. And that's exactly what Rick took, this one right here. The only thing about this was that it was at, so there's two red flags that were hit right there, right? One, it was at sessions, and two, it was at opening price. So that's why I didn't take it. Other than that, Rick said sessions hadn't mattered. I mean, it mattered today, right, Rick? So I'm pretty sure. Well, I mean, it's been mattering for the past couple trades. Like the trades that I haven't taken, they've been risky. Like they haven't been straight pushed to to the to TP. It's been like it's a bounce back and forth. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is what it is, Rick. Like it happens. So it's all good. You'll bounce back from it. But yeah, whenever I take a trade, guys, like there's a lot of times where there's a breakout, like what Rick said, for a while, it didn't really matter if the sessions were there, but I still don't take it because, there's going to be days where it doesn't matter. And there's gonna be days where it does matter. And I wouldn't really want to risk it. I'll just sit out of it. So it's all good. Yeah, Rick said, I really thought it was going to cover the cut. I really thought it was going to cover that gap down overnight. And I thought so too, Rick, because I had a sell bias. It did come back down and just like kind of scoot around with people before it came down further. Like for example, right here, price did push up right here where it stopped people out if you were to take the breakout that looked like a breakout, but it came right back down right after. So it happens. There was a V3 right here, guys, that I can see you guys talking about in the chat. However, it was, let me see if it would have fit. It was like just below it. It was only off by like 20 pips. But I mean, yeah, if you guys took the V3 there, if you guys are wondering in the Zoom chat, some people are talking about the V3. There was a V3 that came up right here. However, the stop loss, it was just, it was a little short. So if you wanted to take that, you could have. I mean, obviously I didn't take it, but that was a V3 that would have hit TP. So that's the one that Charles is referring to. Or not, sorry, not Charles, 19. He was asking if that was a V3. Let's see, B said you have a pending V3 on the 10-minute. Yeah, if this closes as a red candle, then yes, this would be a V3. However, the requirements are still not met for this strategy overall. So again, right here, the main problem that we have is that the overall bias isn't bearish, right? It's still indecisive because retail sentiment is bearish. It's currently 67% long, so it's still bearish right now. However, the fundamentals are still very high. They're currently up 400, basically 400 points. Looking over here at the heat map, it's kind of it's mixed now. I mean, it's still pretty green, but it's pretty mixed. There's actually red stocks here now. It's not all green. So there's still a conflict between retail sentiment and fundamentals because this is indicating a sell. This is indicating a buy, and the technicals here are indicating a buy as well. So it's a bit of a risk. But I mean, we'll follow it, and I'll mark it up, but I'm probably not going to take it, guys. I need all of these requirements to be met, and also no red flag. So if we were to take a sell at this point, it would still run into the sessions right here. So for one, this requirement is met. And then for two, price is near the sessions. So even if we got a V3 there, I wouldn't take it myself for those specific reasons. Yeah, looks like today's gonna be a dry Monday for me. I was hoping to get at least one trade. As you guys can see, there's trades that are still available. It's just not ones that I would take myself. So if I'm not going to take it myself, I'm not going to advise you guys that we should take the trade, because the last thing you want to do is start off the week on a bad note, right? If you guys start off your trading week with like losses, and then you start revenge trading all throughout the week, it's not going to be good. So like for me, I'd rather just be patient and wait for a good entry, start off the week with some wins, and then you have that momentum that keeps pushing throughout the week. So you just keep, you keep stacking up those wins as the week progresses. And I'm sure you guys have had that feeling before when you guys trade. If you guys start the week off good, the rest of your week is usually pretty good. And then you probably blow it all on Friday, right? Jokingly, that happens with a lot of people. But it's all like mindset, guys. It's all it's psychological. Like if you guys start off the trading week in a good mood, you're probably gonna have a great rest of your week. Just don't gamble it all on Friday, because Monday and Fridays are the riskiest days. And I see that happen with a lot of people. People make a lot of profit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday they take risky trades and then just blow all the profits. Or some people are they're just overly confident on a Monday and they go too risky. They end up losing trades and they have like a terrible week. So just keep that in mind, guys. It's all, you want to make sure that you're in the right mindset whenever you guys enter a trade. So as you can see here on the 1 minute, price is back into a range. It's not really doing much. It's going sideways right here. Here's the, I gotta put this a bit higher. Here's the clean chart again. And I'll try to clean this up a little bit. Update these high lows. Oh, guys, and just a reminder, we're not having the group mentoring session today. Sorry, I didn't give you guys the update. We had one of the members request to have it on a different day. I'll have to check the calendar real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up. We will be having our group mentoring session tomorrow. So not today, but tomorrow at our usual time, 2 p.m. So I'm going to step away for 1 second, guys, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Still nothing here. Let me go and just move this down a little bit. All right, we're basically looking for price to break and close above this high here. Come back for the retest. If he even gets that far. Looks like volatility kind of died down a bit. Here's the markup. All right, so there we go. As price breaks above it. You're still looking for that same pattern, guys. So like basically right here, you're looking for it to close above. You're looking for the retest and confirmation back to the upside. And that's literally what you're looking for here. So here he goes, price comes back for the retest. Let's see if it retests and pushes up higher. If that becomes the case, then price might continue pushing up until the rest of the session. So if you guys remember my markup from earlier, I had this marked up like a couple of minutes ago over here. I mentioned if price was going to continue pushing up higher and broke above this area right here, retested and continue to push, then we would expect it to push up higher till about 8. This is fine if price continues to push up higher like that. The one thing that you want to probably pay attention to is a mid-market reversal. I know we're not on the live during that time period, but if price continues to push up higher and this number over here continues to increase, then mid-market, you'll probably see price come right back down. No, nothing yet, Craig, unfortunately. Price is still pushing up right here. It's pretty much doing what it's been doing this whole time. It's just bouncing back and forth. Not really anything for us to take at the moment. Let me take a look at the fundamentals right now. Currently up 452 points. Looking at the heat map over here. Heat map is currently, it's about the same. A lot of these are getting further in the green. So Apple here is very green. Microsoft's very green. Johnson & Johnson, very green. United Health Group, Visa, JP Morgan, super green. But we'll see. We might start to see a turn, mid-market. Price continues to push up higher. So we're still looking for that retest here. Not really much of a retest. It's kind of just bouncing back and forth within this range. It's just a matter of waiting. Yeah, Craig said admiring the patience. Yeah, I know it's tough. I kind of want to FOMO into a trade, but I know it's not the best decision to make on a day like this. Yeah, Peter said, I wonder how many accounts got blown today with all this manipulation. Yeah, no, exactly. I could see a lot because this. So here's like how you guys can kind of see people are getting their accounts blown, right? Or if their stop losses are getting hit. If this number here changes, typically people stop, like their stop losses are getting hit because, or they're just pulling out of the trade, because this number here basically indicates where the retail traders are trading. So like if it's 67 and 33% short, you refresh this, and if this changes, so if this number goes from 67 to say 65, that's because people are either getting stopped out of their buys or they're just pulling out of the trade. So if you guys just focus on these numbers here, you kind of tell if people are getting their accounts blown or if they're just they're pulling out of the trade. Because sometimes you'll see this number jump from like 67 to like 70 to like 73, and it'll just bounce back and forth. It's just that's why I use this as my main indicator, because I want to see like what's happening with everyone else. Basically, all of these lines here that I draw on a 10-minute, this is where I see a lot of stop losses sitting, right? Like this area over here. Basically, the people who took sells, these are typically going to be like the more longer term traders, because this was on the higher time frame. Like if you go on the 1 hour here, like basically people who are trading US30 on the 1 hour, these lines here are basically indicating where everyone's stop losses are, right? So like, for example, whoever took the sells here, like last week on the 17th, and they're still in the trade, this is typically where their stop losses are sitting. So we're seeing a lot of liquidity around this area. So one thing that you want to look out for is if you guys are looking for that pushback to the upside, you're looking for price to hit this area right here. Because if price hits this area, this is where you get the stop loss hunt and price pushes up higher. Vice versa, if price doesn't end up pushing that direction and price ends up coming back down, if you guys see price hit this area right here, because this is basically the bottom, if you see price hit this area right here, then you can probably expect it to drop even further from that point. If you guys are not familiar with this, these areas of liquidity, just watch the previous mentoring session. And I pretty much went over this during that session towards the end, explaining, why we draw these areas of liquidity, where you guys can trade within those areas. I mean, it basically works on all the time frames. So that might be worth a look if you guys are interested in like what we're basically applying here with regard to liquidity. But that's why I'm drawing these areas down here, because if price does come down, which is where I'm expecting it to, we're going to be ready for that push to the downside. C-Suk said, as per usual, awesome analysis today, Sean. Thank you. Daily Met amount. Hope the KTFM has an incredible rest of the day and of profits. Yeah, definitely C-Suk. So we'll see you tomorrow. It seems like a lot of people are kind of just, if you made your profit goal for the day, I would just sit out the rest of the day, because there isn't anything for us to take. If there were trades, then yeah, great, I would continue trading, but there's nothing. I haven't even taken anything myself, so I'm just kind of sitting here and waiting for something to appear. And I'm getting mixed up with this. I keep forgetting I have a different chart here, so I'm gonna take this off. This was mainly for the daily entry. So I'm just going to take everything off this chart. It's basically the clean chart for the 10-minute. All right, so if that's the case here, the daily might be a sell. Actually, it was already a buy. Came up right here. So the daily is actually running right now for a buy. I know we don't really run this, or it actually would hit stop loss. So I wouldn't have taken this trade either way because my bias was for a sell. But yeah, if you guys were following the daily right here, this is why we don't really take the daily, because we try to take it in the direction of bias. If we got a buy signal right here, I wouldn't have taken it. So the same requirements here for the daily entry. This is basically you're looking for an entry after market open. You're confirming the overall bias. There was no overall bias, so I wouldn't have taken this trade regardless. But this one right here wouldn't have played out. So that's why the bias is really important that you guys follow it. Because if you don't, you can get caught on the wrong side of the market. Right, price is now ranging right here between this high and this low. There goes a retest. So here we go again, guys. Same setup. So the same setup that I marked up earlier for you guys can see this was already up, right? We're looking for the retest and confirmation above. If this doesn't confirm where it retests and then pushes back above and closes right here, then we could probably expect it to drop a bit further, right back down. So we'll see where it goes from here. But looks like price might be making its way back down to, I wouldn't necessarily say open price, but if it doesn't, continue pushing up, then it'll probably just drop back further into this range. Let's see where price is currently going over here. Yeah, not really too much. So it's still ranging within this area. Price didn't close below this. I guess consider this low. It's just bouncing back and forth in this area. So two different patterns that can play out. The retest has happened right here. The next thing that you want to probably confirm is if price ends up pushing back above this area. So if pushes above this area, then I'd probably expect it to keep pushing up until 8 o'clock, which is another 20 minutes or so. Refresh this. So the main thing we're looking for right now is if price comes back below, because the retest already happened. So price pushed above here, retest to this point, and now it's ranging around this area. Basically, what you're looking for here is you're looking for price to break and close above this area. If it breaks and closes above here, then I would expect it to keep pushing up. If it doesn't, then it'll probably just swing its way back down. So I guess we'll have to see where it goes from here. But yeah, at the moment, there's nothing for us to take. Nothing off this chart, nothing off this chart. It's the same difference. I'm just going to update this a little bit. The low got pushed down a little lower. All right, so price broke above that price point right there. We'll see if it closes. Basically, this candle here needs to close above it, but it's not really having much luck at this moment. There it goes, it pushes above it. This is just moving in the direction of the fundamentals, guys. So just keep that in mind. It's in the direction of fundamentals. However, the retail sentiment is starting to drop right here. All right, so I guess we can see what happens here, but there's not really much for us to. Looks like this would technically be a V1, possible V3. No, stop loss would be too close. Possible V1 though. Damn, this candle is way too big. I don't know if I would take this. So I know this is a V1 right here, guys, but this candle here is just way too big. It's like a 400 pip candle. I mean, if you took it, it already would have hit TP right there. I was really tempted to FOMO into it, but it happened too late. So if you guys are following this right here, this was a V1. I mean, I was following it, but it happened so quickly, I couldn't even hop into it. The requirements for the V1 right here, Brian. You want to confirm the overall bias. Again, this is another reason why I wouldn't take the trade. Like I would want to take it, but I wouldn't because there's no overall bias. So you want to confirm the overall bias. Again, retail sentiment is a sell, fundamental bias is a buy, technicals are a buy. So they conflict here. So it's like you can take trades in either direction. They'll probably both work, but there's no like clear direction. So you're not going to be like overly confident that price is going to, it's going to actually hit, even though it did hit right here. These are the requirements for the V1. So V1 there, confirm the high. Following candle is a double wick or double body. This right here, you can see the double wick. Well, it's actually double wick and a double body. Oh, sorry, guys. My cold hasn't gone away yet. I had this cold for like 2 weeks. But anyways, here are the requirements again. Brian, confirm overall bias. We're not able to confirm that because they conflict. We have the high right here. Following candle is a double wick or double body. It's both of them actually. And you would enter right here for a sell. So this would have been the entry candle right here. You'd have a stop loss of 300 pips, TP of 100 pips. And you can see right there, it hit TP like right away. Like right when the candle closed, it went straight to TP. So that would have been a V1 entry. It looks like it would have been a V3 entry as well. But, obviously not one that I would take for the same specific reasons because there's no bias. So, again, right here, it's the same situation. This would technically be a V3, which be right there, V3. But again, same situation and same issue. There's no overall bias, which is the main requirement for me. So like last week and a couple of weeks before that, we had like straight wins. The reason for that is because we confirmed the overall bias, right? It's just a matter of being disciplined. If you guys remembered, like I think about a week or 2 weeks ago, we didn't really have many trades. I mean, if you go to there, let me check real quick. So here's some more profits here from Scotty. Nice work, Scotty. He locked in a total of 579. So nice work right there, Scotty. He took a sell as well in the direction of our overall bias. But if you go over here to the profits from this month so far, we actually didn't take very many trades last week. So last week we had the same issue where like we didn't really have a strong bias and the data was kind of off between brokers. So when you don't have a strong bias like this, it's okay because today's Monday, right? If you don't take any trades on Monday, you still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to take trades. So today's like fine. Like if you look at the trades from last week, we didn't have any trades on Monday. The first trade we took was on Tuesday, which we had a full TP for the breakout. Then we took a trade on Wednesday. We didn't take a trade on Thursday. And then we took one trade on Friday. So It's all about patience, guys. If you guys can wait for those perfect entries, and you can see my profits over here, right? These are pretty much what I locked in last week. You can just wait for those good days. If you wait for the good days where there's actual, there's an actual bias, you can easily just take trades in that direction and you'll have straight wins. Like right here, I took all sells and they all were wins. The day before that, we took a sell. They're all wins. The day before that, we took more sells, right? Because our bias was for a sell. This is why you want to wait for the overall bias, because you can go days without trades. And then all of a sudden, when you do have a bias, it's like straight home runs from there. You don't even have to think. You take trades, you take sells or buys, whatever the direction is. And it's basically like an automatic win for you. You don't have to worry about it. So yeah, Charles said fundamentals are up. Let's see, 500 pips. Back to that V3 earlier. I'm just going to mark it up again and see if it's still running. It's that same V3 that was right here. Looks like it's about to hit TP. Again, not one that I would take because the bias isn't very strong, but it would have hit right there. Yeah, what a TP. It is what it is. I was like really tempted to take it when it was coming back down right here. Like when it kept coming down to entry point, I was ready to FOMO into the trade, but I got to lead by example. I can't be FOMO into trades like that. So unfortunately for me today, no trades on my end. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here still profiting. JJ over here, he took all sells today, total profit of 5,363. So as you guys can see, if you guys have a bias to trade in, stick to that bias. Don't go back and forth. I mean, sometimes you can go back and forth if the market's very volatile. But right here, you can see JJ, you can see the timestamps. He entered these trades from 6:29 up until 6:49, which is basically just 20 minutes from market open until he took his last trade. All these trades here were for a sell, even though price was pushing up. Like if you go over here real quick to the, I mean, you can't really tell here, but basically this is where JJ took his trades. From right here until 6:49. So even though price was pushing up, he was still trading in the direction of the bias, and he's still locked in some pretty good profit right there. So nice work, JJ, with the consistency. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Charles over here sent in his profits as well. So here are Charles' profits for the week so far. Charles is currently up 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, close to like 5,000 for the week so far. So nice work right there, Charles. Straight profits right there across all your accounts. These are his 4 accounts. So great work, man. Keep it up with that so far. Other than that, let's see. Jay said, I think I took a V3. So Jay took the V3 that we were just looking at like a while ago. He locked in a total of 1,266. Nice work, Jay. He said, I think I took a V3 question mark, LOL. Yeah, I think that was, he said for sure the daily goal. So we're good now. So Jay, it looks like Jay's daily goal is to make 1,000 a day. So he's up past that and he's just calling it a day. So nice work, Jay. It's looks like it's about time for you to call it a day. Other than that, let's see Barack over here as well. Barack said, true that, Sean. Got a little bit waiting for any setup for the sell. So he took a couple trades today. He locked in a total of 490 cents. So nice work right here, Barack. Yeah, he said he's looking for some sells, but if he doesn't see anything, he's just going to sit it out, which is fine. So, man, I'm starting to feel that FOMO, but it's 7:50 right now, guys. So the market's going to, well, no, the market's not going to close, but this live session is going to end in about 10 minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It's just a dry day for me. I didn't take anything myself. Hopefully, if you guys did take trades, they were all wins. I know a lot of you guys are just taking trades off my analysis, even though there's nothing necessarily official for the day, but I'm all right. As long as there's no losses on my end, I think I'm fine. Because who knows, tomorrow might be a really heavy volatile, like, let me check the news real quick. So tomorrow we actually have news. We have news tomorrow at 6:45, flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, new home sales, Richmond manufacturing index, and Powell is going to speak tomorrow too. So tomorrow, market might be super volatile. Even though I didn't take trades today, I might take some trades tomorrow. And yeah, we might expect price to push up higher. So since Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow at 9:20, I think price is going to come back down. Because whenever Powell speaks, price tends to go up. So what needs to happen is price needs to kind of level off. So what I see happening here on the 10-minute is I probably see price coming down a little later today. So let's see. All right, so if price pushes up higher, I'm going to mark up tomorrow's 24th. All right, so Powell is speaking tomorrow at 9 o'clock or 9:40 or whatever, right there, right? So I think from today, price will probably drop a bit, either into this area right here or even lower. So price may drop into this vicinity, or it might drop even lower, because when Powell speaks at 9:20, it's just going to correct back up, right? Back into this area right here. I think this is going to be the main area where price is going to sit for a while, because you can see right here, price kind of sat here. It didn't really go anywhere. Price kind of just sat here, went back and forth, pushed above. Now it's going to correct back down, sit around this area, probably drop a little lower. Powell speaks tomorrow at 9. They'll probably push right back up to this area, and then it's just going to sit there before coming back down. That's my anticipation. And it's just all from like historical movements of price, right? Like whenever Powell speaks, price tends to go up. So that's why I see price coming back down, because I don't think price is going to push up higher. And then Powell is going to say something that's going to cause price to just go like, to the moon. Highly doubt that. I think price is still going to keep dropping, especially if we're technically going into a recession. I don't think price is going to keep going up. I think they'll fake out and try to like lure in some buyers. But if we're going into a recession, I don't expect price to continue pushing up. It was different during COVID because there's all that manipulation, but for a recession and inflation, I think price is going to continue dropping. So tomorrow we have Powell speaking. On Wednesday, it looks like it's Fed week this week, actually, guys. So it is Fed week. On Wednesday, we have FOMC meeting minutes. We have core durable goods, crude oil inventories, FOMC member Brainerd's going to speak. And then on Thursday, we have unemployment claims, prelim GDP. And then on Friday, we have core PCE price index, personal income, etc. So there's a lot of news coming up. There's no news today, but volatility might pick up on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'm fine without taking trades today. I'm probably going to stack up some trades tomorrow when Powell starts speaking. But other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It's 7:54 right now. It's about 6 minutes till 8. I don't really see anything on the chart, so I don't have anything to take myself. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't really mind skipping today with regard with taking in trades and pretty much preserving my capital for tomorrow. So I think tomorrow is going to be a lot more volatile, especially with Powell speaking. The thing with Powell that I started to notice a lot is people start to buy like way early. Powell doesn't speak till like 9:20. And what happens is like early during the day, like this number here, I think this number here is going to increase pretty heavily. Right now it's at 66. I think this will probably go up to like 68 or 70% by tomorrow. Because the thing is, a lot of people know that Powell makes price go up, right? So as you can see right here, it's starting to level off a little bit. It's at 65%. But I think as we get closer tomorrow, I don't think people realize Powell is speaking tomorrow. When they pull up the news and they're like, okay, Powell is speaking, this number here is going to increase higher. So it's, I would just, I'd pay attention to this number here and see how many people are starting to stack those buys. The more people that stack the buys, the more sells that I'm going to be taking, because I'm going to be taking the opposite of everybody else. So other than that, it's 7:55. See if there's anything else here for us to look at. Otherwise, I think we'll just wrap it up for the day so that I could prevent myself and prevent you guys from taking any, FOMO entries. So there's nothing here off the clean chart. Okay, so you guys remember my analysis from earlier today? I mentioned at 7, right? If price was to push above this price point right here, I said price, so we had a line that was drawn here earlier. And I mentioned that if price was to breaking close above here, then it'll keep pushing up until 8 o'clock, right? And that's exactly what happened. Price was pushing up right here. We waited for it to kind of mess around this area. It finally closed above it. And look where it pushed to 8 o'clock, this strip right here. So the pattern that we were waiting for pretty much played out. At this point now, from 8 until, let's see, 8 until 10 or 9. So between this period right here, guys, if you guys are looking for that mid-market reversal, I think price is probably going to consolidate a bit from here. And then possibly from here to 10 to 12, you're going to see some sort of drop. It might not be a huge drop, but I do think price is going to come back down at least a little bit. So it'll probably consolidate a bit, maybe push it a little higher, and then come back down a little bit from now until market close, or from this point until market close. So if you guys are just wondering where I think price might be going, that's my guess. Not that it'll happen, but that's kind of what I'm expecting. This is just from like market structure that I can see building up around this area. And then as we get closer to the mid-market reversal will tend to happen. Price pushed up right here, consolidation, push back down from here until close. So yeah, other than that, guys, I think that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, message me on Telegram. But today's just kind of a choppy day, which is typical for a Monday, manipulation Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. Looks like there's a lot of news. So hopefully tomorrow we'll pick up some trades. Hopefully we get a better, like an actual breakout to take, because I think that's everyone's favorite trade during these live sessions. So yeah, it looks like we'll have the breakout at 6:30, and then we'll have news at 6:45. From there, we'll probably chill for a bit until 7, maybe catch a couple scalps. And then from 7 until 8, we'll just wrap the session before Powell speaks. So, all right, guys, I think we're done for the day. Other than that, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, just a reminder, no mentoring session today. We're holding it tomorrow at 2 p.m. So if you guys have any questions that are like more detailed and you want me to cover any trades that you guys might have taken that maybe have not played out in the direction that you wanted to, save it for tomorrow, and then we'll cover them more in detail. So I think that's it, guys. If you guys have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow for the next live session. So I'll catch you guys till then. And if you guys don't have to trade, just sit out the market. I'm not trading myself. I'm done for the day. I'm just going to see how the market moves, and then I'll pick back up tomorrow. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys till then. And